Alrighty, so because June asked, we're gonna go ahead and VOD review that set game. I already got it all loaded up. I'll probably do things at 2 times speed at first. Um, I believe if I remember the message, we're asking about what to do after the main laning phase, and if I remember correctly from the game, I was gonna say you got an advantage, but apparently you did not. Yeah, okay, there it is. Yeah, you did get an advantage. Yeah, okay, and then you start killing him here. Okay. So, we'll go through the early game first. Just like first couple of minutes. See if there's anything there. I might fast forward a bit. I'll go ahead and start. Looks like there's some basic trades. So how did you lose this first fight? What was the deciding factor? Alright, so you power shoved. So you see, this is a really bad position to be in when you see Evelynn mid lane. So like we knew she was pathing up towards top lane because of where the Draven and the Maokai were. They were late to lane because they helped her on her jungle clear. Right? They leashed her. So we knew that she was going to be coming topside. Evelynn has her charm and magic penetration in her abilities. So she's actually a fairly good ganker to Mordekaiser. And then Set, if he uses his E properly with Eve's charm, that's an easy gank for them. So right here, this wave state isn't what you want to be in. What you want to do is you want to play out a second or third wave bounce. So what that means is give up the level 2 advantage, right? Like don't even try to get level 2 advantage. Just focus on last hitting, getting all of the wave, let him get the level 2, and then let the wave push back to this area. Because now you see your Zac on Raptors, you see Evelynn mid, and in this, because this is third wave, right? And in this case, third wave, instead of meeting in front of the enemy's tower, is going to be meeting in front of your tower. And now instead of you looking like a big juicy target to the enemy jungler, now our jungler gets to look top lane and be like, oh look, the Set is in a terrible position because look, Zac E with Mordekaiser E is just as disgusting as Evelynn and Set, and y'all actually have way better sustainability. Your damage is just a little bit worse. Like that's a fight you two should almost always win as long as you dodge certain things. So this positioning puts you in a bad position for her. But aside from that, let's see what else. Let's see what happens here. So you have level 3 advantage. You go for the fight. I would too. Try to deny him all that CS. So I'm not sure what the reasoning on that Q was. I'm going to attest it to a misclick. Just do it on manual. I always forget about that shit. Alright. Cause like you Q back. You Q behind you. Right. So he misses his E. You go for the fight. Would have completely done the same. So you Q here. Why not Q there? You know he's gonna try and run back to his tower. Or even better, when you use the your Q is probably on cooldown when you use the E, right? Yeah, because you used it right there. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and then the Evelynn ganks you. See? That's exactly what I said was gonna happen. They get first blood. Okay. So that's how he got the first kill. Alright, and then when we go to here, we still have a level lead. But again, your position is just like look at where you're at. Look at where your team's at. So you're staying here to bully this guy. You got a level advantage on him. All right, valid. Your jungler's fucking balls deep in enemy jungle surrounded by 2 low health enemies. Imagine what you can do there. Set 2. Seth is just over here fucking farming. Like this. I guess I don't think I don't remember if Moon was in calm for this game. Maybe he wasn't. But if he was, and he wasn't just like yelling at us to come help him, then obviously he should have been doing that as well. Because at the same time, I don't even remember this fight going on up here. So Although I would assume you rotate down since you get 2 kills and Yasuo dies. But my point is that y'all could have rotated sooner. Yeah, see, Seth's coming now. Okay. They get that. So how does Seth die here? Oh, it's from everybody coming at bad angles. So Moon went in. Okay. So this is why I was saying y'all needed to rotate earlier. Because you see how this fight went? Seth and Moon were coming in from this direction. You were coming down from top side. And the enemy's already grouped at this bush. So now they're fighting not a 3v3. They're fighting a 3v1. And then another 3v1. And now it's a 3v2. They weren't fighting a 3v3. They were fighting y'all one by one by one. And that's why we see Moon go down. That's probably why Seth is able to die, even though you're able to pick up the 2 kills. Right, that's how this goes. I'm pretty sure you pick up 2 kills and then the enemy. Yeah, you pick up 2 kills and the enemy picks up Seth. Okay. But my point is that's a preventable outcome if we just communicated better. You know, there was absolutely no reason anyone had to die there. Or that his passive, well, actually his passive was probably going to get used either way. The way that I probably would have played that as you, I think I wouldn't have stressed too much about the wave because the wave is already in a shit state. The hope is going to be that the set stays there and tries to bounce the wave back towards you because you saw your, here, let's go back a little bit. Because we saw you have second wave, you have another wave spawning right now. And you have a massive wave that's just on top of him. And now we see Moon down here in a fucking crazy ass position. Right? So let's go forward a little bit to the point where I was talking about. Okay. So we have I guess the wave's fucking up in the playback video, but whatever. Um so we see the wave spawning. You have a massive wave here and he only has 3 minions left. What that tells me is if you leave right now, he has 2 options. He has the option to follow you down to the jungle fight because he's going to know where you're going. I mean, it's kind of obvious where you're going. He's going to follow you down to the jungle fight, or he's going to stay here and try to hard shove this wave. If he hard shoves this wave, your wave isn't here. I don't know why it's fucked up in the video playback. It should be right about here. Your wave is right about here, which means the enemy wave is going to get caught right about here. You're going to lose the majority of the melees, probably the cannon. I don't think it's a cannon wave though, so if it isn't, then you don't have to worry about that. But you're still gonna get the casters because the caster should be just outside of range and it should be relatively held right in front of your tower for you to be able to manipulate the wave how you want to. Then you're able to rotate to a fight much sooner. Now instead of Seth having to die, you two can kill the Evelynn, take the blue buff, and then leave. You don't have to be there anymore because there's no reason to be there anymore. Because the Yone is never going to rotate if the Evelynn's already dead, and the set isn't going to bother going either because the Evelynn's already dead. So now instead of it being a 3v3 Clown Fiesta in top lane, it's a 2v1 with a quick pick and then taking her farm. And that's a much better outcome than this because you got to think about how much tempo was lost in this fight as well. Let's look at wave states real quick. So Seth is the only one who has like a really good wave state where the enemy's actually losing all of this XP and gold right now because his wave's already underneath enemy tower. Your wave is being held just outside of enemy tower and is now going to be in the middle of the lane, which there wouldn't normally be anything wrong with except for the fact that people keep pulling uh, the minions. So we see the minions back here. We see these minions up here. So that means it's going to get held right around here. So if the minions get held right around there, now the set is in a perfect position when he comes back to lane. He hasn't lost anything. You're in a shit position when you come back to lane because you're going to be right in front of his tower. The Evelynn's going to be possibly back on her blue side because you see that grubs are coming up soon. So it's just like it's a very precarious situation allowing your wave to constantly be here. And that starts all the way back in level 1. Like that starts all the way back here with you hard shoving this to get level 2 advantage. Because if you hadn't done that, and instead you had allowed the Set to hard shove and get level, because Set's level 2 doesn't give him kill pressure on Mordekaiser. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. If he gets E and Q, it doesn't give him kill pressure. He's going to E you, he's going to Q you. He doesn't have Ignite, he has Conqueror. There's no lethal tempo in the game anymore. What does he have? Does he have Doran's or something, right? Yeah, he's got Doran's Blade, which just got fucking nerfed. So, I mean, you know that level 2 Set isn't going to be able to kill you before you can just walk back to your tower. And then you can just play out your level 2, take QW instead of your QE, and instead of being aggressive, you just play a little bit defensive. And that's even if you get caught. Because if you play it properly, you just don't get caught. Instead, you're going to hit the wave, right? You're going to hit these two minions. Although these two shouldn't have been this low. I'm assuming you've already queued them. So what I would have done is I would have let the Set hit the melees. I would have let the Set like kind of push the wave in. I would have just used my Q to kind of bonk him and the melees at the same time, trying to farm versus trying to do damage overall. And I try to hold the wave right about here. To do that, you need one melee and at least two casters, or three casters. Although I highly recommend one melee, two casters for top lane, because the melee can tank a lot of damage, and the casters will make sure that your stuff is dying, and the casters cannot tank a lot of damage, so you really need something in front of them. If you can get like a cannon and like one caster, that's like perfect for holding a wave. Um, Actually, they kind of changed it recently with how quickly. So what happens is if you get an advantage over your opponent, your minions become percentages stronger than the enemy's minions, depending on how much more ahead than your opponent you are. Uh, so in the early game, that's not really important, but like later on, like towards like where these fights are happening, or after these fights, like towards like right over here, like around like the 10-minute mark, you can actually start seeing a 1 to 2% difference between the minions. Towards like the 30-minute mark, you'll start seeing a 10 and 20% difference between the minions, between the winning and losing team. That's something Riot's done to close games out faster. So you have to make sure you remember that about holding waves, is as the game goes on, you're going to need either more or fewer of the enemy minions, depending on if they're ahead of you or behind you to hold the waves. But anyway, that's a quick little wave management thing over and done with. We haven't even gotten through the first 10 minutes of the game, but those are the first couple of issues that I noticed just like right off the bat. Um, so I guess let's keep looking at things. So it looks like this is right before our next big fight. Sorry, my headset was about to die. So let's go ahead and look at this wave state right here. I want to see the couple of minutes that lead up to this fight. Damn, I've already been recording for 13 minutes. See, look at your wave state. See how many more minions than Yuhi has? We see enemy just got Void Grubs. You shouldn't be posturing like this. Imagine if Evelynn immediately ganks you and he ease you into melees, right? We see Evelynn bot side, but we don't see her here. We don't see her mid. We don't know she's here. So you posturing like this, what if Ev's there right now? What if she got 6 off of Grubs and she's sitting here in Invis waiting for you to misstep like this? It's like, oh, I just ult one of them and I win the 1v2. What if you don't? You know? Your wave state was really good, but then you focused on killing all the minions and now it pushed back to a neutral place. You should have held that there. Here, let's look at that real quick. Because the opposite, for your kind of bravado playstyle, like let's take that into account, because I shouldn't try to tell you to play like me, honestly. That's just troll. I'm going to tell you to play like yourself. So to play like Monado and to play like a better version of Monado, what I would do here, we see your wave state is getting pushed in. It's going to get frozen here. I'd immediately start fighting him, just like you do, except I'm going to press it. I'm not going to leave it like that. I'm not just going to Q the wave. I see him waste his E, immediately fight, just like you do. Yep. No. Keep pressing that. Keep fighting him. Don't let him get close to the CS. Don't even let him get experience, because right now he's still in experience range. You need to get him behind this line to cut him out of experience range. See how you focus the wave here? Instead of focusing the wave, let this wave kill your wave while you're fighting him. And what this does is this gives you a significant experience gap. So now you're going to get level 8, 9, 10 faster than he is. You can sometimes even create like a 2 or 3 level gap between you and your opponent by doing that. But you see, you had the perfect wave to do it. Like, let's look at that again. Look how many casters you have. You have 6 casters right here. 6 casters are going to kill an entire cannon wave, right? They're going to die doing it, but they're going to kill an entire cannon wave. So you could have left 4 of those casters with the next wave right here, fighting your wave, and then just been fighting the set, and that would have completely zoned him out of experience and gold. Now what this does is whenever you start roaming later on, because you want to start roaming in about like, what, 2 or 3 minutes? Yeah. So when you start roaming within the next couple of levels, now he is still level 6, 7, 8, trying to get his first item, trying to get back into the game, while you're level 10 with your first item. That's how you create a massive disparity between the levels. Is you zone your opponent off of XP, and you hold the wave like right around. This is the sweet spot right here. These 3 pixels, this is the sweet spot. You want it to be right fucking here. Because now your Zac, because you have a Zac, can E over the wall from right there. He can hit him from there. It's a fucking Zac. He can E from here. There's so many angles the Zac can use to hit the set if the wave is held here and you're fighting the set here. Right? But you're constantly shoving the set in and you're fighting him here. How's jungle supposed to help you? All jungle can do is jungle can counter gank. But now jungle's wasting his time counter ganking you instead of getting the Yasuo ahead who's a hyper carry. Or instead of getting the Jhin ahead who's also a hyper carry. Like there's so many things that could have been going on instead of counter ganking you because of your poor positioning. Right? And even then, by the same extension, you're pulling aggro from the Evelynn, so she's not ganking the rest of the team, which is a solid, because we never saw the Evelynn bot lane. We didn't see her until fucking mid-late game because of how much time she was spending on the top side of the map. But it's an Evelynn. We should have been invading and killing her from level 1. Like, we had Nautilus. They're kind of scary level 1, the bot lane. I'm not gonna lie. So maybe I shouldn't say that. But like maybe around like level 3 when she's on the blue side, what Moon tried to do, that was like perfect. Like Moon trying to kill her there, that's exactly when he should have tried to kill her. But he needed to communicate with y'all what he was doing because both of you had wave states where you were pushing in. You had the priority to do that. Right? You didn't freeze for a jungle gank. You didn't communicate that you wanted a jungle gank. You pushed for prio. But if you're going to push for prio, be there for the jungle fight so that you can immediately kill the Evelynn, steal her blue side resources, and put her behind. There's no reason she should be level 5 here as an Evelynn into a Zac with a Mordekaiser. Y'all should be able to abuse her topside because of how much you've already been abusing the set. Look, you already got a 1 level lead, and you're fucking up your wave state. Imagine what you could do if you properly managed your waves, rotated to good objectives, and kept everybody behind. Because that's what I'm talking about for macro. Like, like we can look at this again, right? You have an advantage here. You have an advantage. He's coming back from base. We see Moon going into the jungle. We don't see the Evelynn. We don't know where Evelynn is. But we see Moon going into their jungle. Y'all should have been communicating between the two of y'all. Hey, I'm invading. Hey, I've pushed my wave state in. I'm going to rotate down. That's what should have been going on there. But that isn't what happens, you know? What happens is you push in, and then you start fighting this set, and he's still down here doing the blue buff at half health. There's the Evelynn. Right? So what would I recommend doing in the future is let's take a look at your wave state again. He's gonna hard push this. Your minions should catch it right around the tower, right? So you're gonna have your turn back when you come back to the wave state. You have a level advantage. You fighting him here, do you have kill pressure? Let's look at items. Let's look at items real quick. You have Doran's Ring, 2 pots, and boots. He has a Vampiric Scepter. You got kill pressure? You have Ignite? No, you don't got Ignite. You got Teleport. You already used your Teleport. You do not have kill pressure here. Why are we fighting? Well, it's to get kill pressure, right? Well, why get kill pressure on him when we already have kill pressure on her? Your kill pressure here is a long drawn out brawl. That isn't going to be a quick thing. So by fighting him here instead of just rotating and sitting in this bush and waiting for the Evelynn to show up, because we know she's going to show up. She has to show up. It's her blue side camps. She hasn't done any of them. She's going to be here. So if you rotate down, you wait in that bush, she shows up, she starts fighting the Zac, they're gonna start rotating. Y'all immediately turn and kill the Evelynn. Maybe the Yone gets there in time because he's gonna get there faster because the set's gonna want his wave because he had poor wave mechanics the entire game too. So the Yone's gonna get there first. Yone gets there, tries to save the Ev. Now y'all have 2 kills, and now you fought them 2v1v1. Now it's not them fighting y'all 3v1v1v1. Now it's y'all fighting them 2v1v1. Doesn't that make a little bit make a little bit more sense than trying to have this like clusterfuck of a fight that we had up here, right? Because like look at this, like Moon's over here. He lost the blue buff fight. We see that because he doesn't have blue buff on him. The Evelynn does, so he lost the blue buff fight because nobody was there to help him. Seth's sitting here in his wave with his low health opponent who's already underneath the tower, and you're doing the same fucking thing. Either one of you could have rotated here and prevented the whole clusterfuck that followed afterwards. If you had just rotated literally a minute, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, yeah. If you had literally rotated 30 seconds sooner, that whole clusterfuck would have been avoided. Seth wouldn't have died. Both of y'all would have had better wave states. And Moon would have been able to steal the entire blue side jungle instead of losing the blue side fight. And that would have put the Evelynns very far behind. Because look, now she's even level with Moon. Whereas previously she would have been level 3 and he would have been almost level 5. Right? Like that's the difference that just a few seconds of decision making makes. So like let's look out here. Let's look at this. Let's see what's going on over here. So you're pushing, you got 1 level advantage. That should be much higher. Now you're just walking back. I assume you're going to recall now. You're just walking. So you got your ward. He's got his. But why are we just... We're just walking. Right? Have intention. Like, what I would have done, I've shoved that wave in. I see the set back here. Walk back this way. Look like I go into this bush. Walk around. Walk into this bush. Probably doesn't have it warded. He's going to walk up for his wave. Fight him. And look, you're allowing this set to manipulate the wave however he wants. You are not controlling this wave state whatsoever. You are just hitting it. That is all you were trying to do. Here, I'll pull up like a really good example of wave management from a Kog'Maw that I saw the other day. But let's finish getting through this real quick. I'm already at 23 fucking minutes. Holy shit. I'll just stick it on YouTube and send it to y'all. Alright, so we sat in the bush. The fight's happening. You know, you're ulted. Fight 1, right? Now, what do? We shove in the wave. Shove in the wave. He put a ward in there finally. Shove, shove, shove. Evelyn's on blue. You go for tower plate. Completely valid. Do you go for second plate? Why do we go for second plate? Sets back up. I would have... I guess you can't. Never mind. Yeah, you did good play. Good play. Second plate, good play. Third plate's pretty int, actually. Do you die? Wow, this Evelynn is dog shit. She didn't punish that at all. Holy shit. You got so lucky there. If I was this Evelynn, if I was the jungler, she's level 7, she has invis, right? I'm pretty sure her ultimate is off cooldown. Is there any way I can check that? Yeah, her ultimate's off cooldown. She should have punished the living fuck out of you for that. She should have been there. Like right here, when you're taking that third plate, she should have been right here already. Just about to charm your ass. Cause your ult's down. You don't have your ult. Damn! That Evelynn is so bad. Ooh! You got so lucky there. Alright, anyway. Let's look at this. So right here, do you have... Are you behind in items? Yeah, so he has item advantage, but you have plated. But he's going for Bork Rush. Okay, so you still have level advantage. You have TP. So the play here is, like, you're fighting him, all in him. Like, literally all in him, but don't let yourself die. And then just go for a quick back and TP. Because now you've given up one of the levels in your advantage, and now he actually has a chance of turning that fight, because you've already used your W. Right, your W is on cooldown. It just came up. So you're using your W as heal. You had a max charge W there. Max charge W gives you a fat shield. It gives you a very small heal. So how I would have played that is instead of using it for the heal, I would have immediately turned to fight the set again, and then used my W as a shield to mitigate most of his damage. And again, look for a back and then the TP to return. Because I would have probably done that right here before you hit level 10. I would have immediately gone for a fight. Alright, he's using his, I'm pretty sure he's using his W, or he's about to. Yeah, he used his W. Right there. Immediate fight. Just immediately go for that fight. That W, again, I think that's a waste of a W. You saw him use his, so you should have immediately started fighting him, because this is his turn. If he dies, he loses cannon, he loses a bunch of shit, although he has item advantage, right? But the goal here isn't to kill him. The goal is to get him really low health, and then let him stay and try to hit stuff. So after he used his W, you know he's going to have no way to block your damage or really turn the fight, because Set's W is basically his entire win fight button. If Set's W is down, he has no way to turn the fight unless he's already very far ahead of you in items. So what I would have done was start fighting him there as the Mord, because you know that you're going to deal more damage than him with Q and passive, right? And then you have magic penetration on your E. So I would have immediately started fighting him, because you had fully, let's look at that again. You had fully charged, oh shit, did I go too far back? Yeah, you just used your W. Okay, so right here you miss a couple of things, but I'm pretty sure this is where you start charging it up. Yeah, you start fighting. So you see his E is out. Again, that's a good position to fight. His W is out, good position to fight. Because you saw that you had level up. See how big of a shield you got? And the heal wasn't as much as the shield was. But his W is now coming back off cooldown in about 5 seconds. His E just got used again, and his Q just got used. But his W's already coming off cooldown soon, whereas if you had fought him before, it would have been like a whole almost 10 seconds from coming off. And yeah, you were half health, but you had the shield. So the shield, you were actually 75% health. And then if you just fight him there, he has no way to deal true damage to you. His Q's gonna hurt, but you know his E is out, so is his W. His E is gonna come back off cooldown, but so is yours. So there's no reason why you can't just immediately start beating the shit out of him there. And then again, just go back to your tower, recall, and teleport to lane. Because now you have level advantage, you have item advantage, and he's low health. So now when you come back to lane, you just immediately fight him and beat his fucking ass. Instead, you fight him and you start getting low health. Right? Like, look, you let him get you to a quarter of your health, or less than a quarter of your health. And again, you use the W for the shield, or for the heal, instead of for the shield. Look, why don't you just recall here? Recall and TP. What are you saving the TP for? There's no big plays to make right now. We see Evelynn trying to get grubs, except we don't see that because we don't have any vision down there. Because you're only putting your wards here, and you don't buy control wards. Which again, I say a control ward here, and using your wards on grubs is a much better use of your vision. But I don't know if you were here when I was talking about all of that. We just saw the gank on mid lane. We see Zac pathing towards top. We use the E. Why do we use the E when we see the Zac coming in for the gank? Save the E for the Zac. We got his flash. After the first set flash, I would have disengaged that gank. That was greedy. And the main reason I say that is because Set still had ult, and Set's the kind of champion that if you allow him to do something crazy like fight y'all underneath the tower, he's gonna turn that. Now look, you don't help him. You TP straight back. Do you come down? Do you do wave? I'm actually not sure. I don't remember this part. Yeah, you do wave. And now you rotate. But we lose one. We force ult out. And we see Yone TPing in. Yeah, I was gonna say, I would have argued the most important one to ult there. Wait, did you ult the Yone? Did you ult? I'm actually not sure who got ulted there. I would assume it was the Yone since they're the one that died. No, because you got the kill after. I'd assume it's the Yone. I'm pretty sure you ulted the Yone. So as long as you ulted the Yone, good, because he's the one who has the most team fight impact. But at the same time, you could have maybe stayed in the fight a little bit longer just because your team needed that front line as we saw Set coming in. So maybe what I would have done is we saw the Yone, he was in his E, right? And he was like ulting and he was using his Q. I don't know if you were able to block the ult with your ult. I don't think you were. Let's go back and watch that. Let's go back and watch that. Let's see. I wish it was easier to see Mordekaiser ult. Yeah, you don't block the ult. He gets it off. Okay. So by ulting him here, you force him to fight you, and you win, but it costs Moon his life. Whereas I think if you had just not ulted yet, and maybe just fought a little while, because like see how low Moon is? Moon really needed somebody to cover him while he was in passive. And when you ulted, all he had was Star against two people. See, and then Star gets down to half health, and Set's able to just finish him off while he's killing the Ev. Whereas if you hadn't ulted, Yone would have been forced to E back, and you would have been able to focus the Set down while Moon was in passive, and then maybe ult the Yone after he comes back to the fight and Moon comes out of passive form. I think that would have been my only critique there. But hindsight's 2020, and it's a lot harder to figure that out in the fight. You were just thinking, get damage off my team, so there's nothing wrong with that. I do the same thing all the time. What happens here? Is that gonna be some bot side bullshit? It is gonna be some bot side bullshit. That's right, and the tower's fucking hitting everybody except for the Draven. Alright, cool. I can't believe I tried to fight the Maokai after that. Whatever. Let's keep watching up here. So again, you're perma-shoving. Although here, good, because you should be going to help with the Rift Herald. Because we know that Rift Herald takes less damage from one person. Because if it hits you, you deal 50% reduced damage to it. Yeah, they fucking ganked me underneath the tower. I forgot about that. But again, you could have been down here, helped him get the Herald, and now he has the priority to push and take her blue side again and put her further behind. Because if you look at Evelynn right now, Evelynn's dead. She has 67 CS, he has 81. So he really wants to be stealing this blue side as much as possible. And again, like, you're not really accomplishing too much here with these fights. Like, yeah, he's low health, but you're not putting him super far behind because you're just fighting him right in front of his turret. He's still getting all of the XP from all the minions that come through. He's barely losing any. The only XP he's lost is from whenever he's died. So if you really want to put him behind, let it shove out to a neutral state and then fight him in front of his tower. Because if the wave is back here, why are you using all of your abilities on it? Let it be back here and use all of your abilities on him who's fucking under half health. Look at his tower, right? That's probably why you're pushing it. But if you're pushing it directly into him, Set can sit there and fight you with his tower on that health all day long until you get a gank from Zac. If you want to win this with your level advantage, he's still going to be able to. He's set. He has his W, he has his ult. It's just, he's set. He can fight you underneath this tower and probably win that, in all honesty. So what you need to do is bait him out here. You want the wave to be, you want him to watch all of his golden experience die while he's fucking stuck back here and you're sitting right here doing the Mordekaiser guitar emote, right? And anytime he steps up, you just cue him on his head. And anytime he tries to E you, you just let him do it, and then you E him back so he's out of his turret range, and then you ult him. And then you start beating the living piss out of him. And then you just do, like, instead of just constantly shoving this wave, you hold the wave back here, and you only shove it after he's dead. Or after he's out of lane, right? After you forced him to recall. Because you constantly shoving it like this, you're just feeding him the resources. Right? Because, like, let's just watch this. Like it shoves out, right? It's gonna shove out. He does rift. We see, well, we don't see it, but Maokai's rotating topside. And look at your positioning. What's Maokai gonna be able to do? They don't even see each other. That's crazy to me that Zac and that Moon and the Maokai don't see each other. But look at what happens to you because of your choice to focus all of that. You're gonna get this kill. Doesn't the Maokai kill you? I'm pretty sure the Maokai kills you. Yeah, you die to the fucking enemy support, bro. Because of poor macro. You got a tower and a kill and then die to the enemy support when you could have done that without dying at all. Right? And the way that you do that is, like I said, instead of constantly shoving this wave, right here, this was a great fight. You almost denied him all of that. But now this next one, his minions are grouped up. Why are you hitting him? Why are you hitting him? His minions are already grouped up, which means they're going to target one of your minion, and they're going to slowly push back because your minions are going to be targeting a bunch of different enemy minions. So they're all going to take a little bit of damage. But the enemy minions are going to target one. And if they target one, then it's going to kill it first. And then there's going to be less damage on them. And then they're going to focus your wave down. And now before you know it, you have no minions, which is a good thing. Because now the Set, who has no fucking health, can't get any experience or gold. Now instead of just having a two level gap, you'll end up with a 3 or 4 level gap. Right? There's no reason you can't just starve this man out of resources. And at the same time, if you were in that wave state and the Maokai comes to gank, well, that's so easily winnable, it's not even funny. You ult the full health Maokai, kill his ass, and then turn on the fucking low health enemy. Kill him. And now you have a free tower and you haven't died. Right? Instead of doing this greed play. And that's another thing. The vision. Where's the vision? You have a vision score of 7 at 16 minutes. I have a vision score of 19. Our jungler has a vision score of 10. Vision scores of 3. They both have 2 wards in their inventory that haven't been used. You have 1. And again, I will always say that for top lane, you should have a control ward here. Because the control ward here, most enemies aren't going to get rid of it, and it gives you very good vision of the river. As well as of invades. And you should try to have your wards either here, here, or here, or here. Having a ward here does jack shit for you. Because most jungles, if you see them here, it's already too fucking, like, you see a Nunu, right? Imagine you have a ward here, and the Nunu's just fucking Wing down rivers, just barreling towards you. What does that ward do for you? Oh, you can flash a little bit faster. Congratulations. What if you have the ward down here and you see him start his W? Oh, I better start fucking backing up and hugging a wall so it's harder for him to hit. Like, vision is so important, it is not even funny. And that's just like, we're already at fucking 40 minutes, Jesus Christ. I guess we'll just keep going. Let's see what are you doing down here? What is happening? Okay, so the tower's down. Why are we still in this lane? Such a stupid spot for a control ward. So what I would have done here, I would have pinged Seth. Seth has an advantage as well. Okay. We see that the enemy is underneath their tower. We see Set pushing back into top lane. You two being mid here. And we fuck up a fight bot lane. So you rotated to mid for kinda nothing there. It was a big old nothing burger. I guess you saved Seth from a counter gank. We can look at it that way. And you put Set in a more vulnerable position that'll allow you to kill him. But a better use of your time there, instead of going to mid lane, where yes, there's a low health enemy, but the low health enemy is underneath their half HP tower, go into the enemy jungle. Look for the enemy Evelynn. You're level 13, she's level 9. You have 2 items, she has 1. Like, you beat the living piss out of her. Why are we trying to fight the level 11 Yone, who... Oh, who's actually behind as fuck. But anyway, why try to fight the level 11 Yone, who has a shit ton of CC underneath a tower, when you can just go kill the Evelynn in her jungle? Right? Or steal her camps at the very least. Because don't forget, Mord has one of the best jungle clears in the fucking game because of your passive. Because your passive procs off of large enemy monster or large monsters. So you could literally just go start stealing her camp. Like there's no reason to be mid here. You could have just gone into the jungle, taken her camps, tried to kill her, and if she escapes, she escapes. Now you go top lane, you collect the wave, and you kill Set, but you still get resources, and you haven't deprived anyone else of resources. By going mid, you shared experience with Seth, whereas you could have gone into the jungle and gotten solo experience, and he still gets solo experience, because you didn't really do anything here. You being mid lane didn't impact that fight at all. Whereas if you had been in the jungle fighting the Evelynn, then she wouldn't have been there to gank Seth. Then you would have been able to steal jungle camps, and you probably would have gotten a kill on her because if you ult her, she can't escape. Her ult is useless inside of your ult. And she can try and hold out, but if you ult her in the right spot where she can't get over any of these walls and she's got nowhere to run, like if you ult her, if you're standing here and you ult her while she's right here, your ult has the circumference right around here. She can get to here, she can get to here, but she can't get directly behind it. She can get to here, and she can flash to right here if she realizes that, and most people don't. So you could have killed Ev, and you could have gotten jungle camps instead of sharing experience with Yasuo. And then you could have gone to kill the Set. Like, nothing else would have changed. You just would have rotated to the jungle instead of to mid lane, because this mid lane was useless, and that's just because of the current wave state. If Yone was shoved out and he was here and Seth was here, and like the health was like still basically the same, then that would have been a beautiful gank. Y'all would have gotten a kill and probably been able to turn on the Evelynn as well, right? That would have been fantastic, but that's not what happened. And that's because of Seth's wave management, where he's also just constantly shoving into the Yone trying to press his advantage, versus letting the Yone shove into him and looking for kill pressure when he has a longer lane to work with. Like, y'all are shoving them. Yeah, like you're taking advantage of them, but you're not controlling the wave state. So you're not really able to get kill pressure on them because every single time they're just right in front of their towers. You know, you got to manipulate the wave so it's frozen in front of yours, so they're being deprived, and then you can go kill them. Like, let's go take a look at that Kog'Maw game real quick, because we're already at fucking 45 minutes of this. I should still have it. It was a little while ago. Uh, I hope I still have it. It was a Tom Kench match. Shit, I don't think I still have it. I think I deleted it already. No, it's not that one. It was a victory. It was an absolute slap. Yeah, I can't find it right now. I guess I'll have to go through my match history, although it only saves for 20 and it doesn't have the replays. Yeah, oh well. So it looks like I don't have access to that game anymore. That's too bad. But basically, what the Kog'Maw did was yeah, he did exactly what I was saying, was he kept the first two waves right in front of our tower, by giving up level 2 advantage. And then once we hit level 3 and we were fighting on the cannon wave, um, we started to harass them a little bit more. And then when we were level 4, we had a significant health advantage on the enemy. So we started to seriously push them, and we held the wave in front of our wave for a little over, I think it was like 8 minutes. We held it like right in front of our tower and just completely deprived the enemy ADC of getting any experience or gold. We were like level 6 and they were still levels 4 and 3. Because every single time they tried to step up, I would Tahm Kench W in, and then he would just start Kog'Maw barraging them from afar. And there's basically nothing they could do. They would just lose health. And if they stayed to try to fight, they would just die because Tahm Kench, I was taking Hail of Blades. So I would just stack my passive really fast and stun them. So you could just constantly force out, uh, well, all their sums, everything. Like it was a really easy game. Like wave manipulation is just super, super important. And it's something we can go over in any game.